Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Knights of the Wrong Table podcast. This week we talk about some pretty cool stuff. We talk about how NASA is sending a probe to the sun to monitor it and look at stuff and put sunblock on it.
Sunblock.
We also talk about
the Crusades
and Catholicism and where they went wrong,
and how I get completely creamed in this conversation about the Crusades.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. It's just
I know, but I get crusaded.
it's like the disease that killed the Native Americans.
And then we also talk about Ruby Rose
and her involvement with the DC universe and how the social justice warriors are out to get her.
And how beautiful
about
she is.
She's not lesbian enough, apparently.
There we go.
She's beautiful.
All right, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoy.
She's so hot.
Ah, yeah.
The following podcast contains potentially tough subject matter, controversial topics, and/or strong language. Viewer discretion is advised.
What's the best thing about Switzerland?
What?
I don't know, but the flag is a big plus.
Oh!
And sit down.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Knights of the Wrong Table.
Oh!
Episode 13.
Is it 13?
It is 13.
It's a nights only week apparently.
It's a nights only because our wizard is missing.
Yeah.
We have a special guest.
No
Austin.
one. yeah.
Austin wasn't supposed to be here.
Apparently you counted on me being absent.
Yeah,
Yes,
we figured he was going to be absent because he said he was going to. And
Yes.
then
I said I didn't know.
okay, well, he's here and Jeremiah is not.
For some odd
we
reason.
called him and he didn't.
He'll probably call back in the middle of our recording.
That or he'll
Yeah.
show up in the middle of the recording.
Just be like, we banish thee to the realm of oblivion.
Be
from which
gone,
you came."
Satan! Okay. Hello. How you guys doing?
Hello. Yeah. No, I'm doing great. So we got a lot of stuff going on this week.
We have a
Do we?
roster.
We have a good amount of stuff
First
this
up
week.
to bat, I got a lottery ticket today.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff. That's good
$10 lottery ticket,
stuff. Yeah.
$50.
So technically,
$40.
So you're saying you got a negative $40?
No, it's a positive $40.
Well, I mean, but like I'm doing this backwards. Like you were given $40 for a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Galen was mad.
Because
Well, she seemed mad. She was like, okay.
well, because she plays kind of not regularly, but like every other month or something like that. Like
I don't know if she's ever bought one. Like
She's
to
told me
my
she's
knowledge,
bought
I don't. She never told me.
Yeah, she tells
because
all
remember
of us
she said
except
like she
you.
got a tip or something, and she like
Well, yeah, she did.
What?
That's all I know of.
okay.
Actually, I don't think she ever bought one with that. But
Oh.
anyway, yeah. So I gave her $20.
All right.
So you're looking at me. Why
was-
should I comment on that?
I can either comment or speculate.
Okay. Yeah.
I
so
can either speculate or comment.
I can't
Does
shit
that now
solid.
make this? I'm not gonna say what I was about to say.
what?
What?
Nope.
Fake news.
It's gonna be a prostitution joke, but I figured that's
Aw.
mildly inappropriate.
Our podcast is mildly inappropriate.
Our podcast is heavily inappropriate.
Very
Well,
true.
I wouldn't say heavily. It's
Oh,
Nah, it's pretty
oh.
damn
It's not-
inappropriate.
It's
With
I-
Jeremiah
okay.
always making
Okay,
rape jokes.
If he can even curl, this podcast is not that heavy.
I hate
Ouch.
you. That was good. No, that was good. No.
Ouch.
Okay, so if anything, this podcast maybe not inappropriate, offensive.
Isn't offensive inappropriate though?
No.
Depends on the situation.
Because if you say something in school, they say it's
Because
inappropriate.
no,
I mean,
because-
Robin Williams said many offensive jokes, but were they inappropriate?
Like
Sure. Okay.
if you were walking around 400 pounds overweight,
He didn't
like,
shoot himself.
and I, as a doctor, was all like, "So you're going to die." That would be offensive,
But appropriate.
but appropriate because she's going to die.
Gotcha.
See?
Stop making noose jokes.
Yeah, seriously, man. Just let. Just
You know what they say.
Just
No
let that-
news is good news.
all right,
That's
we're
from Robin
gonna
Hood.
let this joke hang. So
Oh God. Oh no.
I was on Robin Hood Man Tights, by the way. The joke I made. Not your joke, my joke.
no, I know.
Oh, do you? Who says it? Who says it?
Well, obviously the guy that's like, oh no, I thought it was.
You're wrong.
Yeah, no, I thought it was God, I can't.
No, that's Blazing Saddles.
Yeah, I thought it was Blazing
No,
Saddles.
that's they're hanging a man and his horse at the same time.
I thought like, how's it going down there? And he's like, oh, you know,
I couldn't possibly squeeze them in until Wednesday, sir. I'm slammed packed. It's like, and there's just loud thud. It's like, shh, Abbott, it's just a man and his horse being hung.
Oh, no. My favorite one was the guy in the wheelchair. Like he's still like a very new wheelchair too. Like it's very modern. It's not like an old time wheelchair. He's just like they rolled him up. Like you just see some old lady bring him up there, right?
No, I think he's already sitting up there when he opens the window.
Oh, that'd be funny. Anyways, Blazing Saddles.
And there's just a long line of people waiting to be hung.
Blazing Saddles.
Never seen it.
Easily the greatest movie of all time. Change my mind.
It's possibly one of the most offensive movies too.
I mean,
Yes, I
that's
need to
why I
watch
was-
it now.
Oh yeah, no.
I have it on Blu-ray.
Blu-ray is a weird
Blu-ray?
emphasis.
Oh.
Thanks to
Do
you
as
and
he
Gemma.
say. Do as he say.
Oh
He
my
takes
god.
himself hostage. Like
Yeah.
the whole premise of the movie is like these corrupt politicians want this town because they're going to put a railroad through it.
Yeah.
And, like when the railroad goes through, the price of the land's going to go up exponentially. Well, the sheriff is like quits or gets killed or something, so they're like, well, we don't want to send a real sheriff because we want this place. So their idea is we'll send the first black sheriff.
Yeah, yeah, and
He's like they'll probably kill him in a day. And so like he gets there and he goes to accept like the welcome wreath and all this stuff, and like everyone like realizes that he's black, and like it gets quiet, and then people start pulling guns, and then he pulls out his own and points it at himself, and he's like, everybody drop it or he gets it.
but no, but then he's like,
do as he says, do as he says. Shut up.
That's amazing.
yeah, no, and like, oh my gosh, so many times to say the N-word in that movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
That's why
like
that's why
Django.
it's offensive.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah. That's
oh,
a good
but like
movie.
white people, but like saying it as a joke, not like offensively.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe some of them, but
It's funny. I mean, it's a funny movie.
oh yeah, it's absolutely
Is it
hysterical.
is it Django with the scene with the bags where they're cutting
Yeah.
the holes in the bag?
Yeah.
I love that scene so much.
I'm not saying the bags
We're
were
a bad idea. I'm just saying
it could have been
been
done better.
I have never seen that movie.
Oh,
It's
Django Unchained.
so funny.
Yeah,
The
I've
D
never
is
seen.
silent.
Yeah,
The Django.
Django.
That movie is hysterical. It's
It's like
Hella
a lynch,
bloody,
It's
but
a lynch
awesome.
mob. Okay, it's a Quentin Tarantino movie, so it's
Oh, yeah?
bloody, but it's like obviously fake bloody. Like they keep shooting a dead body,
And it just
looks
keeps
like
pouring
Old
out.
Faithful, just shooting straight up.
it's amazing.
Like it's shot at an angle, but the blood goes straight out.
Okay.
can't see a goddamn thing.
My holes are all wrong. Who made these bags?
Have you seen the?
My wife.
Have you seen the? There was a movie I just watched the other day. It's The Ridiculous Six.
Oh,
Yes.
I love that movie.
Oh my gosh, it's such
So
a freaking
funny.
hilarious movie.
I got a strong neck because Mama makes me
pull the plow when I don't get my homework
It's
done,
like-
Which
which
is why-
happens regularly.
I call this one the Running Man.
I got something to tell y'all.
I'm black.
I'm black. Oh, really? I didn't
We
know.
have no idea.
I like Herm.
Yes,
The
I
one who
love
just
her.
grunts and- Herm, do the dead guy thing again.
It's so funny. It's such a good movie. One movie I haven't seen that kind of on a related topic, Hateful Eight. I've heard it was a good movie, but I never saw
That's
it.
another one.
It's a long movie
Is it?
and kind of drawn out. It's
I don't
another
like long
Quentin
movies.
Tarantino film.
I don't like long movies.
It's I mean, like, it's probably like an average length. It might be like 2 hours or something.
Oh.
It's
But
on
it probably
Netflix.
feels long. I
It-
haven't seen it either.
And it's very well written and like not how normal movies go.
Yeah.
Like, because it's kind of a mystery thing. It's hard to explain. You got to watch it. But I mean, it's got like a great cast. It's got Samuel Jackson, Channing Tatum,
Doesn't it
or
have
Channing
Jeff?
Tatum, depending on.
Doesn't
how.
it have Jeff Bridges in it too?
Yes.
Ah, Jeff Bridges.
I like
Did
Jeff
you know
Bridges.
he has
think
his
so.
own website where he plays music? And like you just go to the website,
No, are you talking about the one where it's like that weird? It's like
Yes.
borderline creepy.
dude.
Yeah, you showed me that.
Yeah, look up Jeff Bridges, like just Google Jeff Bridges music website. He's gotta have it. JeffBridges.com.
Oh Lord.
Oh no, it's hysterically bad.
It's creepy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like super creepy.
Oh
if
look,
it
and he's got
loads.
like different months.
If it loads.
November 14th.html.
Yeah, and he's got one for music July,
Hmm.
like 7th, somewhere down there.
It's taking forever.
Yes,
to
it is.
load.
It sure is. I'll have
So,
to.
do we do the commercial now?
Oh yeah.
Or is that something that died after that episode?
No, I mean it absolutely did die, but you can. Let's go ahead and while this is loading, Austin, let's who's sponsoring our
Sand.
Sand?
We are sponsored by Sand.
Oh my God! So what? Okay, level with me.
S
What
and.
is what is absolutely necessary, and why should I get sand? And should I get sand and dirt? Because we did have dirt at some point.
Yes, but they dropped us.
Okay,
Due to
okay.
quote unquote
Maximum
we
price
were
cuts?
No, we were too dirty for them, which I don't get, but whatever.
Oh no, this is
So now we're sand.
no. There was one where like he's just straight playing a recorder.
Yeah, and then it's got like an overlay of his voice saying
Sleeping tones right there. That's the one.
Yep.
That's the one I wanted you to see.
Dreamingwithjeff.com.
No. Okay, so wait, while he's loading that,
Again,
while he's loading that, we have
sand.
not.
Sand.
Okay, sell me on sand.
Have you ever not had sand in your crack and you're like, I wish I had some sand in my crack?
All
You
the
can
time.
do this now if you buy this sand.
Okay, yeah. No. You're really hitting a very niche market, which I'm a part of. Go for it.
Okay, so this sand is the greatest sand. It is mostly ground up glass, but it is sand.
Oh my God.
I know, right? It's the best type
I'm
of
getting
sand.
a little hot and heavy. It's getting a little hot and heavy. My trousers. All right, so it's bits of glass sand.
Yeah.
It's bits of glass. All right.
Bits of glass.
Oh my God. Now is it sanded down like bits of glass sand, or is it like fresh off the presses?
Well, you don't want to sand down your sand because that's just too sandy. You know, that's like,
You are
that's
absolutely
double
correct.
sanded.
I don't want double
You
sanded
don't want
sand.
double sanded.
No,
you
you're
want that
absolutely
coarse sand, not the fine sand.
But Nathaniel, you need to get on this conversation. So,
It doesn't look like he can handle it right now.
so,
I'm so done with both of you. I fucking hate you.
so.
well, let's just skip to the part where we tell him how much it costs.
Okay, how much does this bits of glass sand?
This is
49
bits of glass crack sand.
Whoa, it's not just
49 easy installments of $19.93, but the handling's free.
Oh my God.
Like,
What about the shipping?
That's the
We're not
handling.
going to tell them about
No.
that.
Shipping
Oh.
and handling.
Shipping's a
What
little-
about the handling?
shipping's a little
Handling's free.
expensive.
Shipping.
All right.
Handling. But no, the handling's what's important because like we all three, and sometimes Jeremiah, if he shows up, go down and handle the sand personally.
Okay, you know what? Because I really don't want too many people handling my bits of glass sand for my crack.
No,
Now-
but see, that's the great thing about it.
Yes.
It's the wrong table. The knights of the wrong table. I forgot about that picture.
Sorry, we just saw Jeff Bridges
I'm gonna have to.
inside of a Jeff Bridges.
I'm gonna have to
inside
put. I'm gonna have to put that picture on.
a sleeping Jeff Bridges.
That's amazing. Oh,
Why can we not hear it?
It's not playing anything.
It
Yeah.
should be.
Just go ahead and press play.
Oh yeah, right there. Goody.
Tuck yourself in with the introduction of Good Evening.
I'm gonna read that. The world is filled with too many restless people in need of rest. You don't say.
We're already off to. That's why I filled my sleeping tapes with intriguing sounds.
Noises and other things to help you get a good night's rest. Jeff.
So, are you kidding me? So, this is just tones with him talking.
The giver.
What if he has a blue Yeti?
I gave you.
What if he's talking
Good
into a blue
nights.
Yeti right now? Just put Jeremiah's in front of it.
Oh, that's valid. Un momento, por favor.
Sharing things. Sort of implies the past and the future. Things recorded in the past to share as a future time. I think that everything
Everything implies everything else, really. All right, go to track 2. Go to track 2, please.
This is sleep, dream, wake up.
It's 2 minutes.
No, keep it where it is. It'll get there.
How freaking creepy is that?
You need to sleep. So you can dream.
Yeah. Watch the stars.
So you can dream. So you can wake.
Is this?
Sleep. So you can dream. So you can wake. So you can sleep. So you
Oh my God.
This is horrifying. Holy shit!
Sleep. All right, this one's called Chimes for Dreams.
Oh my god. It's the same.
Wow.
Right?
Couldn't even tell you skipped. Okay.
I did.
I do to relax is to hum. I thought I'd give you a little humming tune here. This is one that
Oh my God.
I find I fall into in
I'm
my
s-
acting when I'm preparing for a scene or whatever. My makeup man, Thomas Nellen, gets a kick out of this. It goes something like this.
Oh my
Makeup Man
god.
Thomas. Oh my God. All right. I'm done. I'm absolutely done.
The-
what a
A
loon bag.
a step inside the mind of Jeff Bridges.
What an absolute loon bag, dude.
He's crazy, but he's so, like, that's awesome.
That's hella original. I mean, you have to give, like, at least he's not,
We are in no way sponsored by Jeff Bridges.
but please, for the love of God.
If you can make
sponsor us.
money to
If you
do
could send
that,
us your album.
That would be.
we will redo our intro music to that.
Oh yeah, no. We
should tag Jeff Bridges in this.
please sponsor us.
I love it. That's amazing. His voice is one of like the best voices.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
one of-
no.
It's just fantastic.
right up there with like Morgan Freeman and like
Oh yeah,
Sam Elliott.
Yeah, and
incredibly like noticeable.
some of Tom
Oh, yeah.
Hardy's like voices he does.
You know what's really sad? I bet you anything that once a lot of the actors that are out now get older.
This is what they'll do. Chris Pratt.
No, like think about it. Think
He
about
can
it.
make a great sleep album.
Right?
You just laugh the whole time.
No, just think about it. Like kids that are about maybe 15 years old. Actually, let's say kids that are about 10 years old, they turn about 20, 25, and then
As time progresses, yeah. That's
well,
how
no.
it works.
And Tom Cruise is doing stuff like this.
Oh, is he?
And let's say like imagine that
No, I'm just
conversation.
putting myself in this world
Tom
right
Cruise's voice is just so recognizable. Like
Not really.
now. No,
No,
but he's
like-
saying for like the young generation that's like in elementary school now.
Okay.
To
yeah,
them.
like just like how
I don't know,
weird.
I feel like Tom Cruise is more like a '90s thing though.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I feel like
but
he's less relevant now than he used to be.
Yeah.
Like he's still relevant, but
he's still kicking it. Like
no, he
the,
is, but like he's only, like his last greatest movie was another Mission Impossible, which
And
I don't think a lot of young people care about because they didn't see the first three because they weren't born yet.
well, see, their big thing is that they need to start. Is it wrong for me to think that
Yes.
he's getting too old to play that young character? He needs to start doing like
but they're
the-
playing on the fact that he's not young anymore. They talk about like
Well, I mean, well,
you're getting old.
granted. I mean, I haven't seen the new Mission Impossible movie, but
Fantastic.
yeah, no,
I'm
Fantastic.
upset. Where'd Jeremy Renner go?
He retired.
No, but I thought he was going to be like a new member of that team. I was excited.
Didn't he quit at the end of the last at Rogue Nation? He quit in Rogue Nation. I'm
He's
pretty
only
sure.
in the one movie.
He's
though.
in 2.
He's in 2?
He's in Ghost Protocol, and he's in the beginning of Rogue Nation.
I'll have to rewatch.
I'm pretty sure he quits the team because he doesn't want to go through with it.
Yeah, no, and so
That's gay.
that was kind of stupid.
I was like, has everyone here seen G.I. Joe 2?
No. Yes, I have. I lied.
No, I haven't.
Do you care if I spoil it?
No.
Okay.
It's been a long time. Since
Spoiler warning. They killed Channing Tatum's character in the first 5 minutes.
Oh, that is so stupid.
The main character of G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
They kill him.
And the first, like, isn't he on the cover of G.I. Joe?
Yes.
Like the second one?
Yes.
Why would you do that?
I know. My sister totally spoiled it for me.
I
Like,
mean,
when we were
Gamora's
gonna
on the
watch it.
cover of Infinity War, but she dies.
No, but
But
she
she
doesn't
does-
die in the first 5
I
minutes.
know.
It's like literally
Loki's on the cover.
the opening scene. Okay, but everyone loves Tom Hiddleston, so
Well, but see,
I
but
fucking
see,
love
let-
that dude. He's
let's-
awesome.
Loki
let's low key talk about Loki.
wasn't a main character. Number one,
False.
he wasn't.
He's not a member of the Avengers. I think
He
that's what
wasn't
he's talking
the main.
Yet.
No, but see, the Channing Tatum.
Dark Avengers.
Channing. Oh, yeah, no, that would be kind of dope, especially with, like the new Venom. But anyways, no. What
Do we have a deal?
my thing was is that like I think it's about time for Tom Cruise to start playing the general, training the new recruit kind of role.
You mean
how,
I mean, like Top Gun?
I was gonna say the ending of Top Gun.
yeah.
Exactly.
But like he's at that age now where like you know how Sam Elliott was the big strong tough like main actor and,
And now he's just like the old weathered mentor kind of.
yes. Yeah,
Dude,
I
have
think
you
it's
watched The
about time
Ranch?
for-
I've seen
The show on Netflix?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
With,
I love that show.
with Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
yeah.
That show's
I've-
hysterical.
Is it good? Because it
It's-
has the guy that plays Hyde from that '70s show. Like that's
Never
you ever
watched
watched
that show.
that? What? Dude,
Never
that
watched
was
that
like
show.
my show. Like that.
That explains why he dresses this way.
Oh yeah. No, I
Nice
absolutely.
bell bottoms there, buddy.
They're actually, I'm wearing skinny jeans.
They can't see that.
Faggot!
Either way.
Sorry. I wear skinny jeans too
Okay.
sometimes.
No. Oh,
I don't.
Dude, that reminds me. So I know I found out a really good way to remember what platforms kicked off Alex Jones by thinking of the
All
word
of them?
faggot. You have Facebook, Apple, Google, Instagram, and Twitter.
That's faggot.
No, Google has 2 G's, and that's where he's.
Okay. And it's spelled with an O, not an I.
Instagram?
Instagram is an I. Yes.
Yeah.
The word faggot is spelled with an O.
Oh, okay, I got you.
But fag it.
Faggot.
Well, okay. So I
It's
remember.
actually-
Fag it.
it's actually-
Fag
Fag it.
hyphenate.
It's actually Greek. It's fa-a.
But yeah, that's
You
how
know,
that's how I
the
remember all
yogurt.
the. Oh.
Have you not? The yogurt spelled phage.
Actually,
like
no, it's
F-A-G-E.
Faggots. Because of Spotify too.
Okay. Anyway, are you not familiar with that Greek yogurt brand?
Nope.
It's okay. It's spelled F-A-G-E, but apparently on all of their cups it's pronounced Faye.
That's
Nobody pronounces it the same when they come looking for it. I've had people ask for the Fagea yogurt. I'm like,
Is it just a Martin's thing? They only sell it at Martin's? I've
No.
never seen that before.
no, it's not. It's I've seen actual commercials on TV for it.
Never have.
It's like very few and far between.
I've seen it for the Wii or whatever it is.
Yeah,
That French yogurt.
yeah. Your sister loves that.
Oui.
Stuff.
Yes. She collects the bottles
Ooh.
for
It's
whatever reason.
expensive.
It's
too.
hella expensive.
Yes.
It's like
for
5
freaking
ounces.
yogurt.
Yeah, it's 5 ounces. It's like $1.50 or something. Close.
That's
Oh my
retarded.
God.
Should we
That's-
actually get on a topic?
We're not
I mean-
sponsored by
Yes. So
Faye or
Fagey.
Phage. I don't want to be sponsored by them because I'd call them Phage the whole time. That's
So
how
now-
that's how I always call it.
now that we've done the exciting portion up front,
Buckle up.
buckle up, guys. Time for our second commercial. You got another one?
No, I don't.
Okay.
It's only
well-
23 minutes in. We don't need a second commercial.
No, right?
Hey, no, we are being hella sponsored right now.
God damn it.
The next eventually one podcast will just be only
Only commercials.
Shut up and sit down. Thank you for our first commercial break, and it's brought to you by
Yeah, no, like 2 hours of brought to you by,
the Webster
Wallpaper.
Dictionary.
brought to you by,
Paint.
brought to you by, shelves, brought to you by,
The dolphin that died in the oil spill.
brought to you by the foam on our microphones.
The red tide.
Anyway,
Brought to you by the rain.
No,
what
but
do you
for
want to
real
go on
though.
first?
All right, so let's go ahead
For real though,
and
The red tide?
That red tide though.
That red tide, though.
They've apparently had to like throw away like 300 tons of fish like pounds.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ooh,
Apparently, it's like one of the worst red tides in like.
So, all right. First
ever.
off, describe to me what a red tide is.
I don't know. I know it has to do with fish washing up on the beach. So let's all get edumacated.
It's a worldwide.
So red tide is a common name for a worldwide phenomenon known as algal bloom. Algal bloom.
Yeah, I know this one.
Protozoans, whatever.
It's a type of bacteria that gets in the water.
Yes.
Certain species of phytoplankton and dinoflagellates.
Flagellates. Dinoflagellates. Found in the red tides contain photosynthetic pigments that vary in color from brown to red. When the algae Shut up!
Shut up!
It probably didn't hear that. Like,
When the algae
Shut up!
No, not that.
I'm saying the mics didn't pick up the chime.
Oh, well, anyways.
So you all just scream "shut up" as something the audience won't hear.
Specifically,
telling
red
Ed-
tide species can be found in oceans,
Don't
bays,
like
and places where fresh water meets salt water, but they can whatever. They're bad.
Yes.
They
Yeah,
the
so,
production of
yeah.
natural toxins, and itchy things,
Why can't
are harmful to marine life.
Itchy thioxins.
General red tides are described as harmful algal blooms or HABs.
the ocean got HIV.
It's got HABs. Yeah,
Dude.
so it's a bad thing, and it's been killing.
Dude, my
shit.
river's got the habs, bro.
Don't go swimming in that water.
My
It's got
river.
HAB.
Anyway, yeah, Florida has been having these red tides.
What is that? Scroll up.
Scroll up.
What is that right there?
This?
Yes.
That's
is
a
that-
turtle.
It's a turtle.
Is
It's
it
a sea
turtle?
turtle.
That's a
It just
turtle.
looks like a rock. It's called a shell.
It's not a boulder. It's a rock. Yeah. So I mean that.
Pioneers used to
So yeah,
ride
Florida
these
has
babies.
red oceans. The waters run red.
With
and it's
algae.
killing shit.
with the blood of the fish.
The
and
blood of their
algae.
enemies.
The blood of Florida's enemies.
The blood of our enemies.
Millennials.
Oh, dude. So on every computer at work, I've added because we use like Google Chrome for all of our for everything at work, right?
I'm sorry.
No, I mean I don't care. So I added an extension on all of the computers where it turns the word millennial to snake people. Look it up. No, you can.
You realize we are millennials, right?
No, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm totally okay
He
with that.
hardcore is.
No,
I
no,
think
so go
technically
to,
you and I
the
are like
Google
the
apps right
border
there.
end.
Yeah.
The Google apps right there. Right, and then the web store right there.
Web store.
Web store, and then
Not Webster.
but the web store, and then type down millennials. MILL.
Like millennia.
I can't.
LL.
Millennials.
Millionaire.
There you go.
Millennials to snake people.
Add to Chrome. Go ahead and do it. Add extension.
That's amazing.
And then
Millennials be gone with pesky whippersnapper.
no, and so that one's pretty good too. But no,
That's
so go ahead
amazing.
and open up another tab, or you can leave this one. It don't matter.
Okay.
And then type down millennials.
2 ends, my dude.
Snake points showing results for snake people.
No, and so snake people also known as the Serpent Society or Society of the Serpents, are the
That's
generational.
amazing.
Or Slytherin, or
snake people, a person reaching young adulthood in the early 21st century.
Snake.
No, and so there's one. I also found one for if you type down Pokemon Go, it replaces it with the phrase "going outside and actually talking to people."
I want to play Pokemon Go. I want to play going outside and actually talking to people.
It sounds like a Cards Against Humanity card.
Yeah.
So if you want to, you can go ahead and do
No, I'm not worried
Pokemon
about it.
Go.
I'm
You're
not
not
worried about
okay.
it.
Whatever. No, it's
Fuck
funny
it.
too. That one's funny too because like when you Google,
How
there's, like,
often-
a bunch of like news articles that come after it. Going out and talking to people is
Like
reaching
I'm gonna
new
forget that I'm
revolutionary-
gonna forget that I added that extension like 3 years from now, and I'm just gonna see like snake people are taking over the world. I'm like, what
The
the
snake
fuck?
people's rise
now,
to power.
Why snake people aren't buying diamonds?
Like I wonder if you had a PDF.
A pit of
A PDF and you open it in Google, would it rewrite everything?
Probably not.
I mean, if it's a searchable
No,
PDF,
If it's an editable,
like
yeah.
an
PDF.
if they have the
OCR?
rights, if they have the rights to change.
I think it's an
content.
OCR.
Because if they don't have the rights to change the content, then no, they can't change.
Probably.
The
All right.
content.
I mean, but it is just a like an extension that just changes the words. So I wouldn't be surprised if there would.
Rosetta
know.
Stone.
Rosetta
Stone.
Stone. Which one do we want to start first? We have 3 topics, 3 main topics to talk about.
All right, so let's leave.
Let's start and end with Roby Roos.
Roby Roos.
You can't even talk. All right, let's go ahead and start with.
I'm dumbfounded.
You want to start
by
with the downer stuff, and then we can just move on to the happier stuff.
It's called
Which
Downs.
one's which?
No, I mean the Catholic Church is pretty. It's pretty sad.
Is that Downer?
boys.
That's a
Debbie
pretty.
Downer.
That's a pretty. That's a.
The priests are making a rise.
And small boys between the ages of.
No.
They always dress
no.
up as Santa and they say, "Come sit on my lap and we'll see what comes up." So,
It's not a Christmas tree.
So apparently, 300 Catholics.
priests, not just Catholics.
Well, what's the difference? No.
One
So
of them
apparently,
wears a collar.
Father. Well, at least you can call,
Call
him
me
daddy.
daddy.
I was gonna say something too. I was like, a bunch of little boys are calling him daddy.
God damn it. Anyway,
So back to on the sensitive portion of it, because a lot of kids were raped, over 1,000. What was that?
Oh snap!
Oh snap! No, so yeah, over 1,000. And not on this article, but I did read somewhere that it was well over 1,000.
No, it's like they found over 1,000 reports, but they can't actually like do
Yeah.
anything about those 1,000
No,
reports.
because it's way too late, and that's the sad thing
yeah,
about
I
it.
think out of like the 300 priests that they identified as being like suspects, they can only actually charge 3.
And see, this is what happens. I mean, because they already had this allegation in the past, and this is what happens when you try to cover up allegations. This is what happens when you try to like just push it off to the side and you don't do a clean slate.
Like
Because
301 predator priests. This sounds
Predator
like
priests?
Sounds like a sci-fi movie.
yeah, they all have like the predator gene and like the mouth.
Yeah, but they're still wearing like the priest Catholic robes and
and
collars.
it only comes out when like it sees like little boys.
It turns and sees a boy and it just.
It's up there like getting ready to preach, and all you hear is
Oh God, no, no. So I mean, like crap like this happens. Like, because this should not have happened again. This should not have happened again at all.
it should never have happened anyway. But
You're absolutely right. But see, the thing is,
I have no good things to say about the Catholic Church.
I mean, not now.
Pedophilia is not a sexual orientation.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we talked about that last week.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. How the LGBT.
I identify as a pedophile.
No, I'm not even kidding you. No, if you were, I bet you $5 if you were to Google it, you could see how pedophilia is going to be or is trying to become part of the LGBT community.
But that's illegal.
Well,
See, okay.
It
See,
would
if they wanted to add it, they would have to make it, or they'd have to decriminalize it.
Which they
And
can't.
that-
well, see,
well-
here's my thing. If they were to add it, then the LGBT, et cetera, community loses all its
Yeah.
Ability.
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
loses
exactly.
everything.
Be like, yeah, we just want free rights, and we want Bill to have sex with a child.
yeah, no, and that's
And then the kid's like, I want it too.
No, the kid's like, wait, no, this isn't what I was told. I was told there was candy. Shut up.
I was told there was free Wi-Fi and V-Bucks.
Hey, kid, you wanna go to my Pokemon Go gym?
going out and talking to people.
You want Fortnite carries?
Oh.
You want
No,
Fortnite cash?
It's because
You want a GTA Shark card?
because they're trying to add more stuff to it, like the pedophilia. Like I'm pretty sure incest is going to be next on the list.
Which is also not legal.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And then I wouldn't be surprised if slowly thereafter bestiality. Because Nathaniel brought that up. No, I mean because
The Rushing Queen.
it's these kind of things that are so freaking retarded.
No, I love the fact that it's like they have nothing better to do than argue about this.
Yeah.
This shouldn't even be a conversation. My opinion is you shouldn't give it the credibility of actually discussing it. It should be something so off the table that you're like, are you stupid? Step away from the microphone.
No, you're absolutely right.
We'll check your sanity in the next room. We have a therapist.
There's at least a conversation with incest. There's at least because it's if they're both
A really disgusting one.
no because they're both above the age of 18, so they're both have like the consent.
I think
like,
you're assuming their age.
Oh my God, I am assuming their age. But when it comes down to pedophilia, that's
I'm transannual.
I'm only a woman one time a year.
No, it's just I can choose my age.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like you're 16.
That's good.
You walk into like the ABC store, and then until you get out and be like, I'm transannual. I'm 35. You will sell me this. No, kid. Leave.
I'm trans ageist.
Oh, this is really off topic, but you said ABC and it sparked a thought. I went to ABC the other day, and they have like, however this big is. You can't see it on the podcast, but like
12 ounces, 14 ounces.
Yeah.
small, like 2 shots.
Okay.
Like the really small
Probably
bottles.
4 ounces.
Oh yeah, it's a shot.
Of it's like some pear something, 98 proof. And I'm like, well, shit, Bill. And then they had like some discontinued Malibu
I mean, 98 proof's not that bad.
I mean, I bought them, so.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Anyway.
he turned 21, by the way.
oh yeah.
We talked
already
about my
talked
birthday.
it. Yeah.
Darn.
You weren't here, bitch.
Bitch.
Sorry.
Okay, so no, I
don't wanna be.
Shut up, Carl. I don't need backup singers.
Elf.
Shut up, Carl. I don't need backup singers.
I'm so
no,
sorry.
I mean, back onto the priest thing. It's
That's what she said.
or he.
Daddy.
That's what the priest said. To the boy.
Okay.
Sorry.
Back on the priest
No,
thing.
it's so
This
on
dick.
the priestesses thing.
Priestesses.
Sorry, continue.
So if there was a tall priest that played the piano, would he be a large penis?
No, he'd just be
Priest?
a Catholic pianist.
Like, all right, so no, but
What do you call a Catholic priest in space? An astronaut, you idiot.
oh, I was
You're looking at me like just waiting.
no,
You're just
I was waiting for the astronaut, you idiot comment because I was like, it's got to be at least something or it's
Well,
retarded.
obviously it had to be something.
No, I mean
It's like, no, I
It's
had
really
no
sad-
idea. I was just asking.
it's really sad that this happened again. It's absolutely, and this is what happens when you decide to hide stuff from the congregation. This is what happens when you do not.
Has the Pope said anything yet? Because last I heard he hadn't.
No comment. He said no comment.
I have.
Like,
He sanctioned it. He gave an executive order.
I mean, because what happens in the United States? I mean, granted.
Stays in the United States
No.
or
what
goes
happens?
to the Vatican.
to get fucked by a priest. Oh god.
Because what I mean,
No, here's my thing though. Eventually, I feel
are
like
they that connected? Is it that connected to the Vatican?
No. It's like
They were priests in Pennsylvania.
yeah.
it was-
No,
but
it's
see
like it's like there's the Pope, then there's like the cardinals and bishops directly under him that speak for like all of the countries, and then all those countries have like people that like speak to him. It's like the chain of like pyramids up to the Pope.
It's like
So
the
so-
UN of religion.
So and I mean, because a lot of people
That's
are
accurate
asking.
because they don't do anything either.
I mean, because no, because like a lot of people are asking the Pope to step down. It's like he can't be in control of everything.
No, and besides, this all happened before. I mean, this Pope only came into like office, quote unquote, like what, 2-3 years ago?
Yeah, no,
Something
this
like
has
that.
been going on for like. So I don't directly blame the Pope for this. I blame literally all the bishops that were sanctioned for this area that allowed the priest to get away with this.
I do. Fuck you, Francis.
Wow.
I'm kidding. I don't know the
Wow.
Pope personally. I don't know how his character is.
We're not sponsored by the Pope, but shoot,
He won't sponsor us at all.
money's money, right? I mean, hey, it's not like we're raping little boys.
Hey.
Yet.
Okay.
No.
There's a line in the
If you-
sand, Nathaniel.
If you couldn't tell already, I like to say the word yet ominously after certain sentences.
That wasn't even ominously. You were just like, yeah!
It's
Yeah!
more-
Yeet!
It's more, I described that more hopefully than.
No.
All right,
Okay.
so this is...
No, my honest like thing is, though, looking back at history, I am surprised that the Catholic Church is still like a functioning organization.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's
It
the
has
mother
been
church.
no, but it has been responsible for most of the wars throughout history. It has been responsible for blatantly lying and subjugating people, torturing and murdering people. forcing people to quote unquote convert,
No, that's
which isn't
that's,
actually how religion works.
Well, usually, okay. So when
I'm a Buddhist now.
No, I mean, because when you think about like the
only
conquistadors,
that's only happened. Okay, that's only happened when the Catholic Church has become directly connected to
which
the
it
government.
has been for the most of
I mean,
history.
like when it always connects to the government. So I don't blame the church for that. I blame the overarching government that's connected to it, because whenever
No,
you
the
have
church was the government.
that's what I'm. That's what I'm,
Crusades.
What?
So, Crusades.
no, the
Yeah.
Crusades. The Crusades was not what
That was fueled by the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church trying to achieve.
Yeah, no, but the
religious
Crusades only
artifacts.
happened in like one small section as a reactionary to.
That was probably like what would have been considered. That was like the first World War.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know about the New World yet.
No, and so but that only happened in a very small little area. That only happened in like
No, that happened. That was
No,
it was
I
England
promise
on.
you.
There's like England on France, England on Spain, England on
The-
like Israel, like all well, Israel was a country back
do
then.
the Crusades map.
There's multiple crusades.
If I'm not mistaken, it only happened in very
First,
right there.
7th, 9th.
the red. If I'm not mistaken, it's only in that red area.
That's
It
the
only-
third
Yeah,
crusade.
that's the third crusade.
This
buddy.
is the fourth crusade.
No, that's the Muslim land. All right. So what? No, I'm.
Okay, the lines are the crusade. Look
Okay,
at this
all
is the
right, all right.
crusade.
But see the thing. But where it
Crusades
happened.
happened.
I mean, because
all those places is where it happened. There's 1, 2, and all the way was it to 4? 4 crusades. All those red lines. That's like movement of troops and where battles probably took
okay,
place.
but do you see where all of them are moving? All of them are moving towards
Yes,
the Muslim lands. So that's what I'm trying to get on.
but that's not where all the fighting took place because England,
No, because-
France, Spain,
yes, because
Germany were not aligned. They were all fighting each other, trying to take control.
I don't.
You weren't alive back then.
No,
Fake
I
news.
was.
No, because and I could.
Okay, do you remember the new Robin Hood movie? Robin Hood movie with
No,
Russell Crowe?
yes
or no?
no, I haven't seen
You haven't? It came out like years ago.
the new Robin Hood movie with who?
Russell Crowe, where
Oh
he
yeah,
plays.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
It's been a really long time.
Where King John dies. That's a battlefield in France.
I know.
And
Okay,
that's during one of the Crusades.
but yes, but the Crusades was a reactionary. Was reactionary to the Muslim invasion, and I'm not kidding. Like it was a reactionary thing to the Muslim invading into. Like I promise you, because they were only in one small area.
Muslims allowed Christian pilgrims to Jerusalem because it brought new sources of revenue. Why is this? What is this?
I don't know. It's a PowerPoint somebody made.
I can see it. It says before the Crusades. No, but the Crusades were just a religious war.
No,
essentially,
I don't.
between everybody.
I don't disagree with you on that.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is it was reactionary. It wasn't like the Crusades started all of it. Like it wasn't the Catholic Church that was all like, let's go kill people. No, it was reactionary to just the overall religion of like just trying to invade onto Europe, of the Muslim religion trying to invade into Europe. I promise you. I've done a lot of research on this.
Okay. Either way.
Cite your sources.
Yes, right
MLA
now.
format.
Yeah, no,
No, APA format.
Yeah, fuck you.
I'll get you something on this, but like, because I was not prepared at all for this.
Cause of the Crusades. Threat of the Turks. That would be your Muslims, I would assume.
That was some of them, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's as far as they got.
Well, yeah. But no, I mean 'cause they
Turkey.
would- and so, but okay.
Either way.
I can't. Okay, I can't agree.
The
to you.
Inquisitions.
That
Nobody
was-
smashed the Spanish Inquisition.
The Inquisition. Here to stay.
So
That's
what
another Mel
was?
Brooks movie?
Yes.
So
Which-
what was the Spanish Inquisition?
Oh, just the Inquisition, so there was multiple. The Spanish one took place in Spain.
Okay, well, obviously.
No, but it's the Catholic Church like forcing Jews and Protestants to convert to Catholic like
Well,
Christianity through torture.
oh, and no, and by all means,
Like that's where that like stretcher thing came from.
I mean,
They pretty much tortured you until you said, "Yes, I love Jesus." Your way.
but was that governmental, like force of ideology, or was that a religion just doing what it does? Because like there,
no religion does that.
Christianity did.
Catholicism did.
That's a
No, I
part
mean,
of Christianity.
no, and because
But there was even a war between Protestant churches and the Catholic Church. I forget what that war was called.
I know. I mean,
That was like one of the bloodiest wars in England, I think.
PVC.
What?
PVC.
No, that's pipe.
no.
No.
Polyvinyl
Protestant
carbonate.
versus Catholic.
Okay.
My thing is that I don't believe because they're not doing it now. I mean, because that's the thing.
Because
I
they
mean,
can't. They no longer have the
UN
Catholic
laws
Church-
dictate.
No, the Catholic Church was in power through all of Europe.
But see, the thing is that I find it hard to believe that those that were doing all of that actually believed in what the Catholic Church teaches. Because,
Okay, see, here's the thing.
because
You
when you add any type of religion and connect it into the government, that's why we have a separation of church and state, so that there's no possibility of a religion
But you're
to
you're,
take over.
You're taking in the like account that like transportation and word of mouth moves quickly now. Back then it didn't. Literally, your
No,
governing body
I mean,
was
well,
the
granted-
local priest who you had to pay to be saved
who was government sanctioned.
by the Catholic Church.
No, the Catholic Church was like it was a tag team issue. Like, I'm not saying that the Catholic Church is not at all at
The
fault.
only reason
I'm saying that
the only reason it's a tag team issue is because the kings put in power were quote unquote put in power by God, given to them, bestowed by the Catholic Church on their bloodline however long ago.
and
That's why King Henry broke away from the Catholic Church, because they wouldn't let him govern how he wanted. He wanted a divorce, and they wouldn't sanction
I
it.
tend to when it comes down to stuff like that, I tend to blame
The Catholic Church.
not the Catholic Church. I
It
tend
was them.
no, I usually blame the government versus because
Okay, you can't blame the government when there wasn't really a forceful government back then. Like, in that there wasn't a police force walking around. There wasn't like
Yeah.
you weren't being taxed by your local like officer. You were paying like your money to the Catholic Church for your salvation.
because they did tax you and they had armies. Like I don't understand. Like, yeah, they weren't cops that you see nowadays, but they still had.
Somewhere we're not communicating correctly, because I'm not getting what you're at and you're not getting what I'm at. Am I wrong, or are you seeing this?
I feel like there's two sides of two different coins.
So you are seeing this, or are you
I
just
know what
making a
you're
weird metaphor?
No. You're not.
Because my
level.
thing is like the Catholic Church had such a tight grip on the average people.
and
Like,
I'm saying
people who believe the only way I'm going to
and
go
I'm
to heaven
saying that
is to pay
people
my
in
priests
government
this money.
use the backbone of the Catholic Church as their like strong arm hammer to like say that if you don't follow this religion, you won't go to heaven. And so it like I
There was no government. There was the
talking-
church and the king. That was it.
the king was the government.
The king was the church.
No, the king was the government.
And the king was tied into the church until Henry the Eighth,
So what?
whatever, broke it.
What then describes a government? A founding body of people that control a subset of people, and then they tie in a religion to it to make it a nice little bow.
No, they didn't tie in a religion. It was the Catholic Church.
I mean, it was okay.
If you go back to like the time of like Galileo, and I'm pretty sure it was Galileo, he put in a scientific paper on the idea that the sun was the actual center of the universe. The Catholic Church forced him to redact it and make like an actual apology because it was quote unquote blasphemous against God. That's something that the church shouldn't even be a part of, because it's like a separate, free-willed society putting out their ideas for others to think about. And yet they're censoring it.
No, I don't see how. Okay.
I think you're like it breaks down at some point, but for like a good portion of history, the Catholic Church had a very tight rein on the people.
No, because I have a full-hearted belief that all root of evil is too much power in a government, period. That's the like that.
Well, see, okay, but I'm just talking about like, you're talking about like governmental aspects. I'm talking about how like the church body itself of Catholicism is probably
And I'm
better
not-
today,
okay.
but back then was beyond corrupt because. Like my point is the only like function you had with the church was your local priest. Your local priest could be telling you you have to eat bananas if you want to go
Granted-
to heaven and give me your money for salvation.
But
Because no one else could read the Bible to prove them wrong. Because you get up to the point where Martin
Luther.
Yeah, Martin Luther.
With his theses.
Yeah, 99 Theses, which listed all the problems against the Catholic Church that he had. And that was like the beginning of, I can't remember the name of it.
Is it the 100 Years' War?
No, that was that was a different one.
I know what you're talking about, but I hold on, I'll look it up.
Yeah, please. And that's where like that's where Protestant churches began to form, and then there was a war between Catholic
Reformation?
churches. Maybe
so
the Reformation was like reforming the church,
Yeah.
and that's at the part at which the Catholic Church begins to lose its power.
yeah, so, because during the Reformation, that's when they separated the church and the government.
No, they didn't. That's just when people went, hey, we don't have to listen to the Catholic Church because they're not always telling us the truth.
So
Martin
what-
Luther was a priest.
Yeah,
he
that's
was
why
not.
they-
He
that's
was
why
not.
there's a Lutheran. That's what. That's
Yeah,
what-
Lutheran Protestant.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
30 Years' War.
Who was the winner?
30 Years' War, Catholic intervention.
Was the
Protestant.
deadliest of the Europe religious wars.
Yeah.
I mean,
I knew it was a something years' war.
yeah, but no, it was like for back then a crazy amount of people died, and literally it's Christianity fighting Christianity.
And, no, and see,
That's my point is if they were truly a Christian organization, that would not have happened. I'm saying they were so corrupt and wanted power, I don't understand why they're still a thing. Because in history, they have proven themselves time and time again to be wrong, corrupt, power-hungry, greedy, everything that the
Boy
church,
touching.
Yeah, boy
Okay.
touching. Everything
No.
that the church should not be and
And
should be
and see,
against.
you are absolutely correct in all of that.
Okay, so now you're at where what I'm saying is I'm surprised Catholicism's still a thing.
Catholicism is still a thing because they had the
Because
Reformation.
Catholics.
No, because they continued to have the Reformation and they continued to separate their
But
their involvement in an overarching like governmental and I keep saying governmental,
Well-
but like I don't know how to
Technically, the Anglican Church would probably fall under Protestant, but that's the church started by Henry the VIII
yes.
when he wanted to separate from the Catholic Church because they wouldn't let him get a divorce because of his wife could only have girls, and it was actually his fault.
Yeah.
But
But they didn't know that back then.
that English people were forced to go to
At
the
a
Anglican
low
Church.
estimate of 4 million deaths, at the high end it was 12 million. So
Holy
between
crap.
4 and 12 million people died
Let's
in
go
the
with
30
about-
Years' War,
About 8, because that's right in the middle.
No.
which is fucking absurd for that time.
Yeah.
That was most of the
I
world's
was going to say
population.
it was like some large a third of the world's population died in that
Yeah,
war.
it's
That's crazy.
absurd.
No, and so
And then my other point is, like, when the conquistadors came to the Americas, they forced Native Americans to convert.
Yeah.
And if they
See-
didn't, they died. And then most of them died from disease
my
anyway.
thing is that I have a hard because
You have a hard on.
that's not at all what I have a hard time. I was going to say hard time.
Yeah, no, but you didn't finish, so I added that
Yeah.
just for to
No, when
make you look bad.
because the Catholic Church has had the Reformation, and now granted they
But it's not the Catholic Church that got a Reformation. It was people reforming and breaking away, making their own Protestant. Like, the Catholic Church didn't necessarily change. It just lost members.
no, and see when you dive deeper into the Catholic religion, you tend to have a more structured hippie style of like you have because it's
It's a very structured with walls between barriers between walls.
it's a very and it's and all the art that came from it too was actually absolutely beautiful. But that's
But that's more of Renaissance era.
it's still part of the Catholic.
It's the same time frame, not related.
But a lot of it happened within Catholic churches, especially the Catholic.
I mean, yeah, it was, but that's also when
I-
people started thinking for themselves.
I probably
and that's okay.
I probably took a really large shit when 9/11 happened, but doesn't mean 9/11 caused it.
I don't feel like that has any.
That's the same thing.
No.
It happened in the same time frame, but it wasn't.
But I'm pretty
Well-
sure the Renaissance was before the Reformation.
Okay, but that's I wasn't.
But like, but
my thing is that I don't. And maybe
the Renaissance actually fueled the Reformation, I think, because that's the Renaissance fueled inventions, and the printing press came out, and then Martin Luther printed
well,
his
yeah, no,
99
and
thesis on the,
but see
and it got mass produced, and that's what like fueled it. That's
Fuck. The hiccup didn't hurt a little bit.
I'm not trying to. What I'm trying to get at is I don't blame the ideology because I don't see any fault in the ideology of what they believe in. Like, I mean, granted, there are some things within the Old Testament that are kind of, but they don't truly follow. They follow.
well. See, I'm not blaming the ideals.
That-
I'm blaming the people distributing the ideals.
That's valid. I can agree to that.
Because I'm pretty sure the Pope was the most was the richest man on earth.
Yeah, and the
Up until-
no, and that's disgusting within its own self. I believe that with any religious stanzas, I think if you're making more money than what you're giving out, you're a garbage human being.
Well, I'm a terrible person.
No. I mean, like if you are.
College.
Go commit not alive.
No, I mean if you're a priest and you can obviously live nice, and if the church wants to pay you a penny or pay you $1 million, like
It's not that if the church wants to pay you, it's if you take the money that the church is getting. That's how the Pope got his money, basically.
Yes. If you take from the church, that's different. If the church is willing to pay you, that's one thing. Because I had a really interesting conversation with one of my coworkers on how he doesn't see how a quote unquote non-profit organization has people that are wealthy within it. And my thing is that even though it's a non-profit, the congregation was willing to give.
Nonprofit just means
Yeah,
at
but
the end of the day, once all expenses are paid, the net profit goes to charity or whatever.
Yeah. And
So if you have to pay your boss $2 million, he still gets paid $2 million before you donate.
I know,
to
because
charity.
he was really ragging on the on Goodwill.
Yeah.
How that's considered a nonprofit organization, but the guys that are high up in the organization are very, very wealthy. And I'm like, well, number one,
They're savvy business people. That's what they do.
I mean, number one, they run the business.
Two,
Number
they probably invest.
two, they probably very much invest. And number three, they probably, if I'm not mistaken, if the guy that started Goodwill, if you start Goodwill and you're doing a great thing, I think you deserve to have a little bit of luxury. Like, I think.
Does he shop at Goodwill? That's my question.
Probably.
No, actually, Goodwill's inside city limits, like big cities like Columbia, and like if there's one somewhere in Nova or like Virginia Beach area, like just outside of like those rather wealthy residential areas, typically have really good things really cheap. Because you get people who have like nice suits who outgrow them or something, and they'll just give it to Goodwill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway.
bottom line, priests,
So,
fuck
okay,
The
boys.
Catholic Church had the perfect example of keeping an uneducated population within its own control for a very long time.
And yeah. When it comes down to it,
Because that's
I don't want. I guess that's why I kind of not
I'm-
got on you, but that's why
you
because
disagreed so hardly.
because I don't want the ideology or the
No, but-
what did you say? You said
I don't blame the ideology. I
No.
blame the distributors.
no, you didn't say ideology. You said
Corruption.
no ideals. You said
Bingo.
ideals
Okay.
because that's a little bit different than ideology.
But I'm glad that he brought up the Renaissance part because I kind of forgot about that. But I mean, like that's also kind of what fuels because it's people
Innovation.
People started becoming educated and being able to read the Bible for themselves
Yeah, no,
and deciding, hey,
That's
this dude
kinda-
who's charging me money, so I'm barely making a living out here, is wrong,
yeah.
and everything I've been taught's a lie.
We're at an hour, so we should probably go on to something
Okay.
else.
Ruby Rose, she's hot.
Let's
That one's covered.
let's do NASA.
Let's do NASA. last month, if you haven't heard about it, NASA launched shit at the sun.
We are destroying it.
Yes,
We're putting sunblock on the sun.
They listen to our podcast.
my
NASA's
gosh.
Parker Solar Probe mission, which is scheduled to launch in July 2018, come and gone, will come within 3.9 million miles of the sun, 7 times closer than any other spacecraft ever has.
Bam.
Specially shielded Parker Solar Probe will have to endure temperatures up to 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit and solar radiation intensities 475 times higher than we're used to here on Earth. If all goes according to plan, the Parker Solar Probe will zoom close to the sun 24 times between 2018 and 2025, gathering a variety of data about the sun's structure and magnetic and electrical fields, as well as energetic particles cruising near and away from Earth's star. This information could help researchers
I
solve
think
2
we own it.
long-standing mysteries: how the solar wind is accelerated and why the sun's outer atmosphere, or corona, that's a good beer, is much hotter than the solar surface. So
I'm pretty. So the part.
so
where
the
solar-
wind that comes off the sun
solar wind, yeah.
and the atmosphere is hotter than the actual sun.
Makes sense, kind of.
Huh.
Because that's where everything's happening.
There's the sunspots
True.
are like really cool, or
Relatively. There's still thousands of degrees.
Well, let's be real here. They're all
I can take
really
it.
cool. Like, there's just
You're a fucking dork.
I can take it. Send me to the sun. I'll give you everything you need. You want a sample? I'll get it.
it's apparently a lot cooler in those locations.
Sunblock
like-
on it first.
I brought you a sun rock. It's like moon rocks. It's
Dude,
just from the sun.
It's just pure.
You ever thought about like what if there's
There's
like
no uranium on the sun.
know.
It's
what if there's some kind of creature that lives on the sun? Like it can
what if
withstand that
what if
heat.
the sun is a creature? Or what if something lives under the surface of the sun?
What if the sun's inner core is like the Earth?
What if
What if the sun's
univ-
hollow?
What if the universe is just one living organism and we're all just like little cells within it serving a purpose?
What if this is all just a dream and then they'll?
What if this is all just a
Wake
Tide
up.
commercial?
Is this a Febreze commercial?
No, it's a Tide commercial.
It's a Tide commercial.
Yeah, I know.
Do-do-do-do-do.
commercial.
But yeah, that's really cool. You're sending shit to the sun.
I assume it's
Cool.
taking like a elliptical orbit, like a comet, because it says it's only going to zoom past it like 14 times, or 24 times within almost 10 years, a little less.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
yeah.
super elliptical.
There's
okay,
a-
cool.
It goes into perihelion, which is like super close to the sun, and then it goes aphelion, which is really far away from the sun.
We're
And
gonna
then
all pretend like Nathaniel knows exactly what those mean. We're
it,
not looking at a picture.
it's we learned it when we were talking about the revolution of the Earth
oh, okay.
and year cycles, and the Earth is the same thing. It has a perihelion and an aphelion where
Yeah, where
it
it's
gets
closer
closer
and-
and further away.
Okay, cool.
Because it's just like it's just like if you were to slingshot around the moon on an Apollo mission, you start from far away and then you orbit it really close and then you slingshot back, and that's what propels you backward and forward around it. Is
Yeah,
that
in Star
close
Trek,
and far?
Star Trek, the original series, there's a star they could do that with, and it'd go back in time.
Cool.
But time is
Time is relative.
relative.
Around gravity.
It's broken him.
It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart in my
I have
head.
no heart to break.
Anyway,
So is that it?
I guess.
All right. So let's
no,
get on.
I mean, do you want to talk about like people being?
So why are we? So I might have missed it. Why on God's green earth would we send something to the
to God's yellow sun?
Literally,
God's yellow
the
sun?
information could
No,
help
to
solve
Earth's
two
yellow
long-standing
sun.
mysteries.
Screw Mars. It's ours.
The solar wind is answer questions basically about the sun that we don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Monitor the radiation that comes off of it and the particles that are there, and like
No, that's actually really impressive that they can do something like that.
Yeah.
Because was it Voyager? Was it Voyager 2 that they sent
I
like
don't know.
at Jupiter's moon or something like that?
Mm.
It got to a point where the radiation was so bad, like the systems stopped working or something like that.
Oh, I don't
I
know.
think that's why Voyager 2 crashed or something, and then Voyager 1 just went off into
Interesting.
the.
What if like
Great
all
beyond.
the satellites that we've like lost to like moons or something, they would come out of orbit or crash somewhere, and like we go and we start traversing
And
our
find
solar
it.
system,
And we
and like
find it.
we colonize like Phobos or we colonize like
That'd
Titan.
be an awful idea.
Or you know what I mean?
Well, I
Like
was gonna
if
say,
we were
'cause
able to like set up bases on these moons of different
I mean,
planets,
yeah,
and then we
that'd
st-
be
and then we end
Space
up
Force.
and then we end up finding
Jupiter
like
1.
1,000-year-old satellites that have
Oh, yeah,
been
from the-
lost
From the
Yeah.
golden ages of exploration.
Yes.
What?
No,
That'd be
but
cool.
okay, nerd moment. The first Star Trek, the motion picture,
Mm-hmm.
is very interesting. Like, you guys are semi-nerds.
Yes.
You're heavily a semi-nerd.
Yes.
And by semi, I mean you're full nerd.
Yes.
It is a good movie.
I mean, I like
Wait,
space
wait.
stuff too.
When did that one come out?
Back in the 70s or something.
Oh,
It's after Shatner put on some poundage.
gotcha.
Yeah.
But it's like all the original cast from the original series. But it is a fantastic movie. I suggest you watch it. I won't tell you about it because
Okay.
it is.
Do you own it?
No, I don't. But it might be on Netflix.
Jeremiah
or-
might actually own it. He owns like almost all of the old Star Trek movies.
Okay, then that's a good one.
Like
Why?
he owns like,
Like if you want
at
to
least
watch
10 of them.
a good, there's probably about 10.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think
because I mean it gets to a point.
Yeah, no, because he owns obviously Star Trek and then the Next Generation.
I was
He
gonna
owns
say
both of
it
those
gets to a
sets.
point where the movies where they kill off Kirk and replace him with Picard in the same movie. I think it's Star Trek 5 Nemesis or something like
Yeah.
that. Anyway, phenomenal.
Anyway.
It's something similar to what you're talking about, finding like ancient technology. It's
Yeah.
good. Watch it. Please, we can talk about it sometime.
Okay, we'll watch
Cool.
it. We'll watch it. You want
We
to?
just would do a movie night.
Pinky
Yeah.
swear?
We are one with the pinky swears.
All pinkies crossed, except Jeremiah, who's absent.
Cunt.
All right, so
Austin's favorite topic.
well, I mean, what would you guys think about doing like live watches of movies on and
That's kind of a
That's a lot of work.
well, not just that. We need recording, like video recording. Two, I don't know what copyright things we'd have to do some heavy research into that.
I mean, basically, as long as we have,
Commentary, it
Yeah.
falls onto like a different category.
which is I believe fair use, as long as you have commentary. Is that
But-
right?
I don't know if that applies with movies though.
That's and because remember, like there was like a thing back church a while ago. They wanted to show a movie, but they couldn't because they didn't get the permission to.
No, and you're absolutely
Like
right.
they had to buy like $180 license just to show a single film.
Yeah,
once.
and you had to. I mean, but there's a clear because they were doing that as like a distribution of the movie. We're
Yeah.
not trying to distribute the movie. We're
But
just
we-
trying to.
We would be.
Yes.
But we would be distributing our commentary.
And see,
with
and
the
that's where
movie.
things get weird because you can find movies on YouTube that aren't they're legal, but
they're like not to scale.
or like I saw one where it's like it was to scale, it was just in the corner, and then there was like one of those old like early 2000s like Microsoft loading geometry screen things
Because
going
it's
on in the
because the
background.
movie was like off to the side. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's actually changed to where the movie could be full screen, but your picture has to be a part of it, like your little
like streaming,
Yeah,
like streamers do.
yeah. Because I've seen that too. I've seen where
We'd have to do heavy research into that.
Yeah.
it'd be pretty interesting. Do crappy movies. We can.
It'd be a summer thing.
Like
we'd, only
Death
be able to,
Cure.
we'd only be able to do it the other summer.
Yeah, no, and then we could probably watch like small YouTube videos and stuff like that, and do the same thing. That'd
Yeah.
be pretty interesting. But that's definitely way far in the future.
After we release our first Roundabouts album,
Yeah,
It's not gonna happen.
yeah, probably
we'll
not.
release it on YouTube.
Yeah, no.
We'll just make our website like Jeff Bridges.
Oh, please.
Sleep.
Dream. Wake up. Dream.
Sleep.
Wake up.
Sleep.
Wake up.
Okay, new topic.
Austin's favorite.
Ruby Rose.
So
All
if you-
right, so let's
if you
talk
didn't
about
know,
lesbians.
Ruby Rose leaves Twitter after criticism that she isn't gay enough for Batwoman. The headline is great.
This is from WASPO.
The Washington Post.
WASPO.
So apparently,
Washington Post.
Yeah, I
and you could probably explain it better than I can.
Me?
Yeah.
So basically, and this is
like describe like the universe thing and
all
why
right.
it's a problem.
So, and this is definitely my category. In the DC universe,
Because the Crusades weren't. Sorry. I'm sorry.
okay.
Chalk one up for Nathaniel. We should get a scoreboard. No,
For
that'd
just,
be,
like, for just bad burns.
Yeah, and then we can put it like in the video or something, and like every time someone gets one, it just ticks up. for that
I mean, no, but
person.
I had the Crusades. Like I knew
What
why.
he's saying is I beat you in the Crusades.
Well, nobody really won.
Somebody won the Crusades.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, Catholicism.
Well, the Muslims didn't win in the Crusades, that's for sure. Anyways, so
I feel like the Crusades were just like a bad divorce. Like Catholicism got the house and the kids, and Muslims got sand.
no, I mean because
To each his own, you know.
no, because if you, when you looked at the map, I mean, you saw how much they had conquered, how
It's
much
the Ottoman Empire.
yeah, the whole thing they had
Which the
conquered.
Ottoman
Where are they
Empire
now?
lasted a pretty long time. They lasted up until World War One,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
It's pretty awesome.
right?
sure. All right, so
No, I mean it's impressive.
yeah, okay.
Only
valid.
other like thing to achieve that would have been like Alexander's empire, but that collapsed.
The Mongolian Empire.
But that was Asia.
Dude,
Oh, we have rice fields.
Wow.
there's one in every I think 100.
Yeah, you're talking about the Genghis Khan gene.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like he had sex with so many people. It's either 1 in 100 or 1 in 1,000.
Okay, let's be honest. He probably didn't have sex with so many people. He probably raped a lot of women.
I mean, he pillaged their fields and raped their women.
Yeah, okay, so
They're
basically, his seed runneth thick through the blood of Asians, right?
Yes.
Congratulations! Your great great grandmother was probably raped by Genghis
So
Khan.
I was reading on something that if you wanted to kill off a large population of the planet using
Focus on that gene type.
yeah, you focus on that gene type and
cool.
you would destroy like so many people.
You just gave somebody a horrible idea.
Well, it's already been out there. Are you
Sure.
kidding me? I'm not the smartest person on the planet. I apparently got the Crusades wrong.
No, you just got all of like early
Anyway,
civilization history wrong.
So Ruby Rose, right? So
Mm.
she was. All right, okay, so
Her name just rolls off the tongue, right?
Ruby Rose. I know she sounds like a character in.
I was gonna say she sounds like a porn.
I was
star.
gonna say that.
Okay, maybe a porn star, but I was gonna say like she sounds like you know how they have.
She sounds like a Marvel character because alliteration.
yeah, the alliteration of it. Well, Lex Luthor. I mean, that's still.
No,
still
but
DC.
Marvel's like a lot heavier in the alliteration
absolutely
than
right.
DC.
So
Bruce
in,
Wayne.
Iron Man.
No, but it's like
So-
Peter Parker. You know,
Bruce
and
Banner.
the DC universe wiped away literally
Tony Stark.
everything. I mean, so when they wiped away everything, they created the New 52. And when they created the New 52, they used, I believe, all like specific characters from different universes because it had gotten too out of hand for them because they had created so many different
the
universes.
multiverse.
Yeah,
thing
they
that
had
DC
this
did.
whole multiverse thing, and so they
There's
had like
53
one
Earths.
large like bad guy that was going around destroying all these universes.
Marvel.
No, I mean like no, like
Catholicism.
you win. All right, I'm done. I'm done with that conversation. So no, and so when they created the New 52, it was the new like I believe it was in the 52nd universe. I think
52nd Earth.
yeah, or something like that. I don't fully remember, but for the most part, in the New 52, they had a lesbian Batwoman, because Batgirl, I believe, is Officer Gordon's daughter. Yeah, Batgirl,
Sure.
like Officer Gordon's
Redhead.
daughter, and then no, I believe she's
It's
whatever.
Black Widow.
No,
Actually, Black Widow was blonde for the
I'm pretty-
longest time.
I'm pretty sure there is like a Batgirl who's a redhead. Maybe it's Bat Lady or something like that. I don't
Bat Mistress.
know. Oh, what do they do in the Bat Cave?
That's her Bat Cave.
50 Shades Freed Bat Cave.
Her Batcave in the Batcave. No, and so
Adam West's Batgirl.
so in the New 52, they have a lesbian Batwoman, right?
Yeet.
And so with all of this,
And that's the character they're going to use for this Batwoman movie.
yeah, so they're actually going to hold it to character, which is fine. Like they're not changing anything. They're not adding a new character. They're not making a character a different gender and or race just because social justice.
We're making it an extraterrestrial.
So
Bat
they're
thing.
actually using a character to its own device, and so they cast a gay or a bisexual woman,
Ruby Rose.
Ruby Rose.
Means there's a 50% chance.
So people on Twitter did not like the fact that she was bisexual.
Okay, when we say people,
Social justice warriors.
The social justice warriors,
Quote, unquote.
these crazy
justice.
social justice. So they
You're welcome.
no, they said she wasn't gay enough. Apparently being bisexual and
I love how they're turning on their
because
own.
she was yeah, I know. She considers herself gender fluid. Which
Gender fluid.
so gender fluid by definition means that from day to day she can either be a man or she could be a woman
No,
because
if
her
you pour her in a
gender
glass, she's the gender
her-
of the glass.
I feel
her
like that's
gender
I feel like that's a fuel
flows.
that they use to power like the LGBTQ helicopter. It's gender fluid.
It's their
Tell you
lube.
the alarm
It's
starts
their
going off.
lube, really.
We're going down. What's the matter? We've run out of gender fluid. I'm gonna aim for the Hudson.
See, my problem with this is
It worked for
So
Sully.
gender fluid means that you would go like that, like the fluidity of her gender would go from day to day.
The
She would either be-
viscosity.
Which
What
I'm
is
not-
what is
I
the
am not an
viscosity
organic-
of gender fluid?
Thick, real thick. So
How many C's?
14.
all right. So anyways, well, so she's gender fluid, and so she's like what I would consider like the perfect person to play like a lesbian character because she's already like describing herself as this
Thing.
very, very, very.
I thought he was gonna say thing.
I wasn't gonna say
Swamp Thing.
no, a very, very a proactive person.
Yeah.
Like
It's
she's
not like they're
already-
getting like a straight person to pretend to be a lesbian.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
which by the way, I would love to talk about that. It's
I'm going to talk about that.
oh yeah, no, it's so
Okay,
the
I'll listen.
so she's perfectly what they would consider perfect in their universe.
Yeah, she's pretty hot.
Still wasn't good enough. Still was not good enough in their eyes to just say she's not lesbian. She's bi. She actually likes the penis. Like they didn't like the.
Occasionally.
Oh, yeah, there's a flip a coin. She'll take it. You know, like.
Wow.
Austin,
Austin
put
scrambling
your
for a
quarter
coin.
down. No, and so
Um,
it's
I've only got a nickel and a dime.
the idea of the fact that you must be 100% lesbian to play a lesbian character is so stupid to me.
It's like, where were these people when Brokeback Mountain came out?
Yeah.
Because
Trying to
both of
figure out
them
how
were
to
straight.
spell-
Both
trying-
of them were absolutely straight.
Trying to figure out what they wanted their acronym to be.
No, so what happens when? Because it's Hollywood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean that every type of person is in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, there are lesbians in Hollywood, and granted, there are bisexuals in Hollywood. But
Like Ruby Rose.
But there were actually people that got upset with Dwayne The Rock Johnson because he played in Skyscraper. And in Skyscraper, he plays an amputee. They got upset with him because they didn't cast an actual amputee to play
We
that
want
role.
someone who looks like The Rock,
What
but is
kind of,
actually
like-
missing a leg.
It's like the typecasting and like what kind of Craigslist ad do you have to put out there? It's like, we need an actor that's really good at acting, buff, can jump from like a crane to a building.
Might be described as
Doesn't have a
looking
leg.
like Dwayne
Yeah,
The Rock
exactly.
Johnson.
No, that's the criteria that's so baffling to me. What happened to just being a good actor?
Yeah.
What happened? Like, and see, I can understand why they put Dwayne in there because he's got name recognition.
Yeah.
And it's like if they would have put some actual amputee person, it probably wouldn't have gotten that much recognition in the
Yeah.
in the theater. And which it's kind of sad in its own right because it's like the fact that you have to cast somebody that's big in Hollywood to get big is meh. But whatever, right? But the idea that you have to be this, and this to play this person is stupid. What actually happened to acting?
Yeah. And it's
What happened to like to the thought of I'm an actor. I can act like a lesbian.
yeah. And it's
I can act like a transgender with no legs and it's so ludicrous.
what is his Sam Worthington? Is that his name?
It sounds
Sure.
From Avatar.
Yeah.
yeah.
Sam Worthington.
Also played
Not
the
a
Terminator.
Yeah,
Not a paraplegic.
not a paraplegic,
No.
but played it phenomenally.
Yeah, no, it
Yeah,
was
I remember
great.
your mother like first time we watched that because that was like his first big film, right?
Yeah.
He'd
One
been in
of,
more
yeah.
before.
I've seen him
but
in other stuff, but yeah, that's
yeah,
like the
that's
first
like
big thing I recognize.
where he
him
got
in.
recognition, and then now he's kind of fallen off again, which I liked him as an actor.
Yeah.
But like your mom was like, he's like he must actually have like polio or something. And I'm like, no, he doesn't.
No, he's just
She's like
good at what
but
he
it
does.
looks and it's very good CG on his legs. Like
Yeah.
there was like one scene in particular where they kind of like close up on it,
Yeah.
and it looked like
that
it
or
was-
they use props or just something, but what they did with it was fantastic.
yeah.
No, it's so stupid. It's absolutely.
It's like I want the blue aliens to be played by blue aliens.
Yeah, no, you can't play the character the Flash unless you can actually run the speed of light. Like you can't. I don't know. I don't want to.
I can do it.
Like, and that's so like. Just think about it. Like, if you were going to typecast that much, why don't you actually go out and
She
find
actually-
Batwoman to play Batwoman?
It's like she actually has to already be a natural redhead to play this character who's a redhead
Yeah,
and have like
it's where
a
does
certain
it
eye
where
color.
where do you draw the line between being able to act and they need to be this?
We need someone to
Because-
play Mystique. You have to actually be blue, shapeshift, and have like a genetic defect where one eye's blue and one eye's green.
Nobody that making this argument would still make this argument if a white person, or not white person, if a character that's usually white within comics or TV shows gets casted by a black person. Nobody would make this comment.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it wasn't Nick Fury in like more comic book lines. Nick Fury was white than he
No.
was black.
No,
was black.
I think he's always
He was
been
black.
I think he's always been black.
He's black.
For
Look it up.
a while. He's been like
I mean, I know
For a
like,
long
I
time.
know for a while. Jeremiah texted us apparently.
Oh yeah, he had family over, and that's why I wasn't here.
Oh,
okay, well that's fine.
Shout out to J Lo. By J
Jeremiah.
Lo, I mean Jeremiah.
No, and so it's yeah, because nobody making this argument would say no, a white person must play a white person. Like nobody actually would say that. Oh
Yeah.
well, there might be a couple, but who cares? Like they're garbage human beings anyways. But that's the point. You don't have to be a straight person to play a straight person.
Yeah.
No one would turn down a lesbian trying to play a straight person. You know, like no one. God, if Ellen DeGeneres wanted to play like on TV show in a romantic comedy between her and a dude, nobody's gonna go. No, well, you're not straight enough to play this.
Ellen DeGeneres isn't a fish, but she played Dory. Nobody flipped out about that.
Freaking, that's the. Oh my God. Exactly. And so over the weekend, Australian actress Ruby Rose. Yeah, she leaves Twitter because she was being harassed so much.
That's
you know how
ridiculous.
sad that is. Austin. You're absolutely right. That's the left eating their own. It's like you're not good enough.
It's not a movie; it's a show.
Yeah,
It's a show in the
sorry.
Arrowverse, like same
yeah,
with the
the
Arrow and the
CW stuff.
Flash.
Yeah, and so you're absolutely right. That is the left eating their own, and that's really sad.
Well, there was a Nick Fury film in 1998. No, but Nick Fury was originally white, and it wasn't until the Ultimate Marvel comic line, Ultimate Marvel imprint that he became
Okay. Yeah.
black.
No, you're right.
And then that's what they used for the movies, which I'm fine with. But I mean, like, if you want to throw a fit, like, why were we talking about Nick Fury's race?
No, because
About white playing white and black playing
Oh.
black.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like no
characters.
one. No one making these, like, that's what we're saying. Nobody making these arguments would actually look at a black person saying you must step down because this role is predominantly played by.
Could
a
you
white person."
imagine if Tropic Thunder came out tomorrow?
Oh my
Yeah.
God,
Oh my God, yeah.
Like, the crap Robert Downey Jr. would have gotten.
he
for
got a
playing-
lot of crap for that when it came out, like the time era. That
Yeah, but it
actually-
wasn't like awful. It
No.
wasn't something that crushed his career.
No. You're absolutely right. That would absolutely destroy his
But
career.
I mean, even
Didn't
like
that come out after? Did that come out after Iron Man?
we talked about this once. I don't remember.
I think it did.
no.
I think
no.
Iron Man was his first big film production after coming back from his break.
But I thought Tropic Thunder was.
I think we looked it up and it was after it by like a few months or something.
So he was doing it at the same time.
Probably.
Yeah, and so. But yeah, that's like. Which Tropic Thunder, within its own right, is satirical. Like,
Yeah.
it's
100% purely.
It's you can clearly tell, and those that made the argument that because it's racist because he's playing a black person. It's like you're not getting the concept of the movie.
And here's the other thing: is it's also not like the only black person in the movie was played by a white guy.
No, you're
There
absolutely
was
right.
one other black guy.
But there was
Booty
other,
sweat.
Yeah.
and that character was hilarious.
Lance. not a Lance. Not
I said
Lance.
Nance.
I said Nance.
Nance. I said Nance.
Nah,
I'm
you
not
said
gay.
Lance.
Nah, you said Lance. Brother, you can be
What do
honest
you
with
mean?
me.
He's like, what do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people?
I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude. It don't get more confusing than this.
It's a fantastic film.
Such a good movie.
Oh, it really was. I tried showing. No, so I was scrolling through Netflix, and
Yeah.
Caitlin's mom was. We were all sitting there. I was like, "You guys want to watch Tropic Thunder? It's a hilarious movie." I forgot how it opened, and it opened with a booty sweat commercial.
Oh,
Like
no, but then
before.
directly after that one is the one with Robert Downey Jr. and Tobey Maguire
Yeah.
being gay priests.
No, and then immediately after that, it was the Fartsons or whatever.
Oh yeah, the Jack Black plays
No,
all the
and
characters.
but I could not get past because all you see is the dude's head next to two ass cheeks, like just flopping right next to him, and I'm like, booty sweat, booty sweat, booty sweat. I'm like, oh my god, no, back. I made a mistake. I done did
that
it.
was like literally the worst part.
Oh yeah, no, and then after that, it gets great.
I can't feel my legs. That's because you don't have no hands. Freaking love that movie.
That's a movie we need to watch.
That's such a good movie.
Oh my god.
Anyway, Ruby Rose deserves the part. She's great.
No,
Yeah.
here's the other thing, like semi off topic, but the DCCU.
She's not the first one to
DuPont Community Credit Union.
Yeah. The DC Cinematic Universe.
No. She's not. Scarlett Johansson was actually slated to play a trans person. She got fired for it.
What?
She was actually like, if I, oh, no,
In what, Lucy?
she was slated to play as a trans
Ghost in the Shell.
man to woman, right? And
They fired her because she wasn't actually a man.
yeah, you can look it
woman
up.
Thing.
Not
I believe
pass.
you.
I believe you.
Yeah, no, that just recently happened.
That's
I was,
ridiculous.
I was going to talk
Yeah.
about the like
The world's
potential
falling
DC
apart.
has to make
You're-
further movies.
What?
I was going to talk about something like more fun, less.
This is fun, but go on.
No, I was going to say because like DC's doing something different than Marvel, whereas Marvel's making all these interconnected movies. DC's just kind of like making movies based off their various characters, which I like because you don't have to watch every Avengers to know what's going to to understand what's going on in Infinity War.
But if you did, it makes sense.
I mean, well,
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. You gotta watch like you really ought to watch like Captain America and then like all the like other films, then Avengers and then like Avengers 2 and then watch Infinity War.
yeah,
Whereas like DC, you can go, I don't really want to watch Batwoman. I'll wait and watch the Joker movie when that comes out. Or, you
See,
know,
I get what you're saying, that they don't need to be interconnected, but I feel like at least the characters and the actors who play them should be the same.
but see the thing.
Maybe not the stories interconnect,
The
but the
thing that-
characters and actors for consistency's sake.
but DC has the multiverse that they can use because they can
True.
technically say Suicide Squad is happening on Earth 4 and
True.
Batwoman's happening
But
on
see,
Earth 52.
But see, they got rid of the multiverse thing. I mean, if
In the
there's-
comic books,
Yeah.
yes.
yeah, if
But
they're-
they can do because I mean the TV shows right now are currently using the multiverse heavily.
yeah, no, I mean, you're absolutely right. Oh, here's one. The new Teen Titans movie.
Didn't
The
watch it.
cartoon one.
Teen Titans
Yeah,
Go.
I mean, no, but no,
I was
mean,
just-
no, not Teen Titans Go. They're actually making a live-action Teen Titans
I
movie.
heard
Never
Glenn
heard of
was
that.
supposed to play on
And the thing
Robin
that-
or something from The Walking Dead.
back
Oh, yeah.
back on this topic. Do you know who Starfire is?
Yes.
The flying one.
Yes.
Okay.
They cast a black person for that.
And their fucking point.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, nobody.
She's always been white, right?
Yeah, she's always been
redhead
white.
too, right?
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
always been a white redhead.
Hmm.
And it's like you don't hear shit about that at all. Nobody. And nobody.
Well, I
nobody
didn't even know
cares.
that they were making a Teen Titans movie.
I had heard about it, but I had kind of thought they'd stop because, like I said, it was like one of the reasons that, like I had heard one of the reasons that Glenn's character died on The Walking Dead when he did was because he was being cast to play Robin in a Teen Titans movie. And then they
That's
came
cool.
out with the cartoon. I was like, was that really it?
Yeah. No, like, hearing about that though, that I'm excited. I hope it does well.
I was
I
gonna
hope
say,
I hope it's good.
I'm excited. I want DC to make more movies on characters.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, because great. Okay, so their character movies are great. The Justice League movie
Was ass.
Was ass.
it was terrible. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the other thing. I hope they don't do that.
Yeah.
No. See, if they're going to do that,
But it was so heavily CG'd. Everything was CG'd. Ben Affleck's fight scene as Batman
I
at
know.
the beginning was CG.
you're absolutely right. But see, the thing is that whether or not they're creative, it wasn't the CG that made it bad. It was
for me. It was part of it.
That and the acting was meh.
the script, the screenwriting, and the acting were garbage. I mean, but they casted great actors
And there was-
for that freaking movie,
Well,
and yet it's still
The other thing
tanked.
was, I feel like they really screwed up the character of the Flash in that movie, particular, because they established he was not a hero yet. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be like the Flash.
and what a wimpy little hero.
He was supposed to be becoming a hero, like saving people.
I know.
Why did he already have a suit of armor?
Yeah.
Valid.
Made of like polycarbonate.
No, it was like something that they sent. It was the same material that they put on the bottom of spacecraft to
Yeah.
re-enter the atmosphere.
How did
Whatever-
he get a hold of that?
Exactly.
I mean,
Well, I mean,
he's-
he could have ran.
Yeah,
True.
But how did he get a hold of that and then build it?
Yeah.
I mean,
There's so many plot holes.
Yeah.
and that's the thing, is that what the Justice League did is they didn't actually have their singular arcing movies.
And like the next Wonder Woman movie is going to take place in the 60s, which means it's going to be like apart from the Justice League thing. And so I'm excited for that one.
No, I mean that's fine.
I mean, Chris Pine will be in it, unfortunately.
Hey, I know Chris Pine
Steve
was.
Tyler.
Yeah, Chris Pine was like the best part of Wonder Woman. Oh, but no, I mean, because I would still want them, if they're going to do a mashup movie, I would still want them to have some type of, like, I don't like the fact that they within one movie they tried to create Mermaid Man, they tried to create the Flash, and they also tried to create who else? Cyborg. They all tried
Yeah,
to create.
Cyborg just kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, and that's the thing that kind of like.
Well, I kind of understand why they wanted to do that because they're. I think what their thought process was, they're already so far behind like Marvel's, conjoined movies that they just kind of jump into it.
Yeah.
But I feel like they really screwed the pooch by doing that.
Yeah, and
I would have been
Uh,
fine
but
if they.
they
and
were-
the villain was so
Wolf
I,
something.
I didn't even know who he was.
Wolverine.
exactly
Like
I-
I know it. I know enough about DC to tag along, but
They picked like the
Still.
one character.
You're
no one knows about.
wait. No, that makes a lot of sense. What, God, what
Finish your sentence.
a dump of a movie.
I think Jeremiah just showed
No,
up.
my mom's calling me.
Oh, cool. Don't put
hey
it on
Terry.
Hey, Mom, I'm doing a podcast. What are you doing? Oh, Austin's parked in the way, and you can't get in the garage. Well, that's funny. We'll can you do it later, or does he have to do it right now? Can what if you just parked it right there and I help move the vehicle in just a second? Because we're recording right now. Bye. What a lovely lady.
She's a lovely lady.
I love my mom so much. That's the second time. So
And I kept the whole thing in the first one. It was
I
great.
know you did. So but I wonder if they what a waste of money if that was their main goal was to just put all of the characters in one movie so that they can then start making solo movies on these characters.
Yeah.
Like
Oh.
get you invested in like,
I'm
oh, I would
curious-
like to see a cyborg movie. Ooh, I would like to see this because like
I'm
nobody was
curious how Aquaman will turn out because I feel like Aquaman, however Aquaman ends up being, I'll go watch it. But if Aquaman is as bad as like Justice League was, then I'll probably give up. on-
Aquaman's a dumb hero.
but the guy they have casted to play him,
He's fantastic.
yes,
I love Jason Momoa.
That's what I'm saying. Like this movie has the potential to go either way for me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because what they
Like,
could do is
it
they
could
could
go
do
great because they got Jason Momoa and like a potential very good depth character to work with.
Yeah.
But then it's also DC's making it.
Yeah.
I mean, and then
The Suicide Squad was good.
Suicide
good,
Squad
it
was pretty good. I don't like the fact that they overplayed the Joker and then
In
did
the
not.
in the trailers, and then
Yeah.
he was in all of 30 seconds.
Yeah.
He turned out to be like a meth head.
oh,
Well, I think-
I loved the new Joker.
I
I
didn't
thought
really like Jared Leto's Joker.
I
Yeah,
liked.
I'm kind of there with you. I didn't. I mean, I thought it was a very interesting take on the Joker.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I thought it was
which
very-
I'm okay with,
Yeah.
but I still think no one has.
I would have
beat
been
Heath
more.
Ledger.
I would have been more upset if they tried to recreate Heath Ledger's. I would have been more upset with that than having.
I think they
something-
know that they can't.
Yeah,
Because I feel like that was the absolute pinnacle of Jokers.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And so they're trying to create a new one that obviously doesn't.
But then the Joker standalone movie is not Jared Leto either. It's someone else, and it's going to be a different take on the Joker.
Which I'm also excited for. I love the Joker. He's one of my favorite
Yeah, I do too.
villains.
That's what I'm saying, and that's gonna. I think that's where they're trying to play off the
I think-
multiverse thing.
I mean, because sadly, I mean, because Marvel's getting a little worn down. But I mean, granted, I'm still very invested.
They're
in
not
Marvel.
they're not wearing down.
we
They're just
don't know-
wrapping up their biggest franchise.
There has to be a different Batman for that Joker standalone film because they already connected Suicide Squad with the Justice League world, with Ben Affleck going and talking to Amanda Waller,
And
Yeah.
so,
collecting the files on the people.
to hold on to your multiverse.
So there has to
theory,
be a different
and if,
Batman.
and if there isn't, I'm not watching another DC movie.
a
if
different
it's
Batman?
the same, if it's Ben Affleck
Well, I'm
in the
pretty
new
sure
one,
Ben Affleck's already talking about giving up on being Batman. Period.
good.
Because
mean-
I think he prefers directing over the acting now. I think that's
maybe.
what I heard.
Granted, so back on, I thought I was really rooting for Ben Affleck as the new Batman.
Yes,
Like-
but then they screwed it up.
They screwed up. They screwed up the film. Like it was.
Even Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, and that was they screwed up that one, like to no end. Because they make the Superman so OP, it's not even funny.
And yet he
It's-
still lost.
Yeah, and that's the thing that drives me absolutely freaking insane about like, the DC universe. But because Ben Affleck did a really really good job when he played Daredevil. I genuinely love
Never
that.
saw that.
It's a, like if you want just a good like solid little film.
But even that one, though, I feel like even though that was a Marvel movie back then, they still put a lot of things into it that like a casual movie watcher wouldn't get. Between like Kingpin, Bullseye, is Elektra in that at one point?
She started her franchise in that. Like that was the
I forgot
first.
she was a thing.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
And
Elektra
she
was,
had a standalone film or two.
She had two, I believe.
I had no clue there. I
She
know
was
what
the
you're
lady
talking.
from the Capital One commercials.
Yeah, but I don't ever remember knowing that they were Marvel movies.
Right?
Yeah, no,
They
and
never
like,
advertised them as Marvel movies.
Yeah.
well, they
And I
believe-
think does that technically like Sony's Marvel movies or
Maybe.
no, that was Fox. That was
Okay,
Fox.
Okay.
Yeah, Daredevil's part of Fox.
Was.
But yeah, now it's
Disney.
which I'm so excited for. I mean, because now they have they can do it. If they're going to continue with the MCU universe, where it's all just one, they have a lot more to go with now.
You're really saying MCU universes, Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Like it's like saying a NIC card, which it's already called a network interface card. But
Yeah, it's like our JMU cards or Jack cards, like James Madison access cards.
yeah, but
Cards.
people call them Jack cards. Yeah, so it's just a thing. All right. Anyways,
Please do not spit on the electronic devices.
We're at like 140.
all right. I mean, we still got 20 minutes, right?
No, we have a
They're
vehicle to
all
move.
like 2 hours long.
Oh, well, okay.
So we need to start like talking about single topics, like small topics, and then like we can't have like too big, like the
Yeah.
Crusades and Ruby Rose.
I mean, well,
We didn't really talk about the Ruby Rose thing. We just kind of talked about the universe thing.
we got onto it a little bit, but
I mean,
not-
it's all
not-
connected
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of the point. We still
on a
have,
multiverse scale.
I mean, we just usually have these topics to go on tangents, anyways,
We
should Which is what we set did.
2 per week.
which is usually what we do. Just about that.
Yeah, but we've
And then we
done like
always end up
4.
going 2 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe we should set 1.
No.
Because if we set 1, we're going to run out of shit to talk about.
But I'm saying like
We either go really long or we don't have anything.
2 short topics and then 1 main one. And we can actually start using the group text that no one uses until we decide when we're meeting.
Which I try to use. I mean, I try to send you guys like
Yeah, but you
info.
always send it when I'm at like work or something.
But that doesn't mean anything. Like, what you want me to? There's 4 guys in a group text. You want me to just make sure that everybody's off before I
No,
send a
but
text?
I'm just saying I'm always at work, and then I end up having like 18 texts to read.
Ah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. No, this has been a good one.
We'll have
Yes.
to put off recording our new outros.
Do we have
until
any, do we have any-
Jeremiah's shows up.
Do we have any
Mhm.
sponsors to end this podcast?
You're
No.
funny.
Oh wow. We are sponsored by You're Funny. All right, so
It's like iPhone. It's just no one knows about it.
as a kind of a PSA,
oh yeah.
we're moving to every other week because the semester's starting.
Ooh, sorry.
I
Yeah.
don't live here during the semester.
No.
I will come back every other weekend because I work.
So is this like a public safety announcement or like
Service.
Public safety.
Safety?
It's late. Yeah, so we're gonna be moving to once every other week.
But we're going to try to make it worth it.
Yeah, we're gonna really put more
So
effort
are we gonna want
into.
2-hour shows?
Not necessarily. We're just gonna want to structure them more. We're
Yeah.
gonna get more solidified topics and like points on those topics.
Are you starting your sub podcast?
I might start something
Well, I
on
mean,
this.
you either need to do or don't. There is no try.
I mean,
According to a
I
short
might
little green Force user.
I might do something. I might, since all of this is here, I might start doing something.
Yeah.
But for the most part,
Well, you don't even need this. If you're doing like a solo thing, you can use the Blue Yetis. We got.
valid. But
We're not sponsored by them.
but we talk about them a lot.
I mean, I would take a
Throw us-
sponsorship by them.
You're
Yeah.
absolutely right.
Send us some sparks.
But yeah, no. So
please.
some things that we were talking about were maybe having these stupid commercials and more often, where we actually have more structure in that. I think
Yeah.
that's what me and Nathaniel were talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get somebody else to do it than me because I just make it up on the cuff.
That's
yeah,
the point.
That's kind of the point, was to actually on our week off, actually kind of like have a sit down conversation with each other and
Build a product and then try to sell it.
Yeah,
basically.
just bullshit products.
yeah, basically, absolutely. And then like how the flow of the show that we want to go, because now we're just getting into the flow. We're getting used to talking into microphones now, so I think it's about time to
Well, 3 of us are. Jeremiah still has trouble with it
Yes.
sometimes.
Well, he's got to show
screw
up.
him. He's
Hmm?
about 3
He has
episodes.
to show
off.
up first.
Yeah.
True. um,
Poor guy.
yeah, and we're working on character creation and sketching out actual characters for us.
Yeah, no.
so we
So
can start doing merchandise potentially in the future. And
can we talk about like the character
advertisements?
designs that we have already in play? With
we could. Do you want to wait? Just tell them about it after the
Sure,
podcast.
absolutely.
Because they're just thoughts
Theories,
at the moment.
theories right now.
But yeah, we'll update you guys.
Alrighty.
Spread it around like herpes.
Like the clap.
Yes. Yeah, spread it intentionally, like that one guy with AIDS.
Don't worry, you won't get jail time for this one. Probably.
Charlie Sheen.
Yes.
Okay.
We're moving to different platforms, as we talked about. We're in the process of doing that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. We
Um,
are. Google Play,
Stitcher.
Stitcher, and TuneIn. We're also on SoundCloud. That will be our main location for straight audio files, and then still YouTube. Please give us money on Patreon.
Facebook, Twitter.
Yep.
Instagram.
Yep.
Instagram.
Yeah, that's about it. Right?
That's about it, man.
Dope.
Later, poople.
Peace.